Hey everybody, thanks so much for checking out Branch Out Guitar. I'm John. Today we're going to be talking about minor pentatonic licks, so let's get started. So today I'm just going to show you 3 minor pentatonic licks and how you can alter them just to get a couple different sounds, but just give you a base for how to use the minor pentatonic scale. So we'll be talking in the key of G, starting here at the 3rd fret on the 6th string. I'll review that scale one more time. You probably know that scale already at this point if you're looking just for licks. So the first lick is going to start here on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. We're just going to pretty much play down the scale to the next octave on the 5th fret of the 4th string. And then we're going to finish off with the 5th fret and 3rd fret, and then finishing on the 4th fret of the 5th fret of the 4th string one last time. So you get one more time, real slow, just straight down the scale. And then switch up to. So it really becomes about how you inflect some of those notes. Yeah, you can play the notes, but how you might slide into them, whether you use hammer-ons or pull-offs or slides, or how you might accent those notes, is going to give that lick a whole different feel here. So I'll show you a couple different variations here for this first lick. So I could just pick every note like I have been doing here. You could start adding in some pull-offs. We're just going down the scale, so the pull-off's going to give it a little bit smoother sound. I really hammer on any kind of slur is going to, but in this case, as we're using pull-offs, it will give it a smoother sound. You could just use a couple pull-offs and then pick the last 2 notes. And then I just did something there where you kind of bend up just a slight bit on that last B flat, the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. Just a little inflection there, but it gives it a little bit different vibe. I also like to kind of accent those last 3 notes there. Instead of just, but kind of dig in a little bit more like that. So that's the first lick. The second lick is going to be starting here, moving into the 2nd position of the G minor pentatonic scale. So that's like this, starting here at the 6th fret on the 6th string. And then, so 6, 8, 5, 8 on the 5th string, 5, 8 on the 4th string, 5, 7 on the 3rd string, 6, 8 on the 2nd string, 6, 8 on the 1st. So what I'm going to do is play here the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and then I'm going to let those notes ring together. 6th fret on the 2nd string, then 5th, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, and then going high to the root of the key here, 3rd fret on the 1st string. So definitely you would see this in a lot of different, with a lot of different players. Instead of just playing, a lot of times people will slide into this note, say from the 5th fret. You could slide up and then slide back down and then finish with that note on the top. You could also, as you slide down here, you're already set up with the index finger here on the 3rd fret behind it, you could pull off. You can combine the 2 licks there to give you a little bit longer phrase. Or you could switch it up a little bit more. Instead of finishing high, you could just finish low like you might normally do. But just by switching the octave, you're getting a little bit different vibe. Not necessarily the inflection, whether it's a hammer-on, pull-off, or slide. You're also switching the same note. This is a G, and this is also G, but this, since it's high, has a little bit different sound than the lower G. Then finally, the last lick, we're going to incorporate some bending here. We're going to start here at the 6th fret on the 2nd string, and go to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Whole step bend with on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then the 3rd fret, ending here on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Then you're going to have this kind of like quick afterthought where you pull off from the 5th to the 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then 5th to the 3rd fret on the 5th string. That's really where the phrase kind of ends, but just, you know, how people trail off in a conversation with a sentence or something like that, kind of have this last gasp, last breath of words or whatever. You can have that kind of effect right there. You could just stop here, or a lot of these, another way what I just did there is I kind of raked into this first note here, where that's where you use the side of your hand here to kind of mute all these strings as I drag my pick across the string, and then I'm finishing with the first note here at the 6th fret on the 2nd string. So anyway, those are just 3 minor pentatonic licks that you can use and kind of start altering to get some of your own sounds. Again, it's not just the notes, it's whether you're using hammer-ons, pull-offs, or slides, or whether you're switching the octave of the note, or whether you're switching it with a bend, or you're actually using some vibrato. Once you start combining all those techniques, really the possibilities are limitless. So thanks so much for checking out Branch Out Guitar. Be sure to comment below, subscribe and share, and to check out branchoutguitar.com for more information. We'll see you next time.